Good morning, gorgeous. How are you? Okay, so on today's episode, I'm going to be talking about why you should ditch the scale and other ways you can measure your progress. Okay, you don't have to ditch the scale, but there's so many other ways that you can track your progress, and I'm going to share them with you. So grab your pen, grab your paper, whatever you need to grab, and let's go. So, of course, I know the scale is one of the ways most of you prefer, or probably the only way you monitor your progress. And I'm not completely against the scale. My issue with the scale is a lot of you, and I even have clients who become obsessed with the scale. They're checking their weights every day, and they get like mini panic attacks whenever the number on the scale changes, whether it goes up or down. And I want to talk about that. I want to tell you why you got to be careful with the scale and how you can use the scale and other ways, other things to track your progress. I'm recording this and I'm thinking, I threw out my scale more than 10 years ago. And I'll check my weight, of course, annually when I go to the doctor. And occasionally I'll hop on the scale in the gym. And I always, whenever I do hop on the scale, if you're ever going to weigh yourself, please do not weigh yourself after your workout. The number is definitely going to be higher because, of course, your body is retaining water and fluid from working out. Those are trapped in the muscles. So that number is going to be higher. So sometimes I'll step on the scale, and I remember one time I stepped on the scale after a workout and I was like, what the heck? Then I remember, girl, you just did a workout. And I think my numbers were up like 8 to 10 pounds higher than they normally are. Cause I think normally I go between 140 and 145. So one of the reasons I like to say I don't go by the scale is the scale don't measure my sexiness. The scale don't measure how sexy you are. So stop depending on the scale alone and use other things. So a few reasons why the numbers on the scale may be off. It could be higher, it could be lower. And because of that, it is not a true representation of what's going on. For example, it may fluctuate day to day, anywhere from 2 to 5, possibly more pounds, depending on what's going on, depending on fluid retention. So did you drink enough water the day before? Did you not drink enough water? Were you flying in different time zones? Because those things definitely may affect it. Forget even the time zone, just flying alone, because it can dehydrate you. Other things, how did you sleep the night before? Did you get good quality sleep? Or, you tossed and turned all nights and now you're waking up feeling crappy. If that's the case, of course it's going to affect your sleep. Next thing is, I kind of touched on this before, dehydration. If you're dehydrated, if you haven't had enough water, if you've had too much water, that also is going to affect the number on the scale. Menstruation. Are you close to your menses? Did you just finish? What phase are you in? That will also affect it. Medication. If you're on certain medication where your body is retaining more water, or birth control. Some birth control conceptives may cause an issue because the number on your scale to fluctuate. Alcohol consumption. How much alcohol did you have? When you have alcohol, the next day, the number may go up or down, but definitely in a few days, it will definitely be fluctuating because, once again, fluid retention. Did you dine out? Have you ever checked your weight like on a Friday morning and then again on a Monday morning? I promise you, there's going to be a difference because over the weekend, you may have gone out, you may have had food to eat, which usually includes high sodium, high fat, and of course, alcohol, because we usually put the two together hand in hand. So what happens is we usually have those two. And of course, that's going to have the number on the scale increase. Have you ever checked your weight on a carpet? If you ever put your scale on a carpet, the numbers or a rug, the number is also gonna increase. I did mention medication. Other things that may throw it off could be exercise. Did you exercise right before you jumped on the scale? Did you have a lot of carbs right before you jump on the scale? Did you have not enough carbs? For example, if you went on the scale this morning, did you have lots of carbs last night? So you see where I'm going with this? So many different things can affect the number on the scale. And if you start getting obsessed with that and using it day in and day out as the way to measure your progress, then you're going to feel discouraged at some point, because you maybe feel like, I'm eating clean, I'm working out, I'm getting good quality sleep, I'm managing my stress, but the scale is going up or it's not even moving, and it's discouraging. Now, I'm not telling you not to check your weight. I'm just telling you, if you're going to use the scale to monitor your progress, one, don't check your weight every day. And two, let's find other ways that you are going to use other ways that you can use to track your progress. Oh, I also forgot something else that may affect the number of the scale. Stress. Are you currently stressed, or even you were stressed a week or two ago, or sick? Are you recovering from an illness, right? Because with stress and illness, it can take anywhere from a 1 to 2 week for your body to fully recognize what's going on and stop the fluctuation. So let me give you some different ways that you can monitor your progress where it's not just the scale. So you can use your mood. And I know this can be a tricky one to use during perimenopause, because your mood may be fluctuating just as much as the scale. So you may use your mood since you start working out, since you start moving your body regularly. How's your mood? Or do you find that you're more happy, that you feel happier most of the time? Do you find you're feeling the same? Like, use your mood. Next up is your energy. I saw this meme a while back on Instagram. I think it was where it was like, working out or exercising is a pyramid scheme. You need energy to work out. Workout gives you energy. Which comes first? Once you start moving your body more again, you should notice that you have more energy. You have more energy, you can get more done. So that's another way that you can definitely use, another method you can definitely use to monitor your progress. Your strength. Remember, this is something I've spoken about before. I want you to think about getting stronger as opposed to getting skinnier. Focus on getting stronger, because then when you get stronger, you can lift heavier. For example, when you started working out, how many push-ups were you able to do? Were you able to complete 3 modified push-ups? And now you can get through 10 modified push-ups. That's a sign you've gotten stronger. Were you able to do squats with 10-pound dumbbells? But baby, now you're up to 20-pound dumbbells. That's also a sign you are getting stronger. You've gotten stronger. So definitely use strength. You can also use your clothing size. This is something I don't think a lot of us think about. When you start getting enough sleep, when you start managing your stress, when you start moving better, moving your body more, and of course, you notice I mentioned managing of the stress and the getting enough sleep, because those are very important. At this stage, it is not only about moving more and eating less. So many other things come into play. So you also have to look at that, and you're not losing, the number on the scale's not going down, or it may be going up. But what about your clothing size? Did you go from a size 18 to a size 16? That's progress. Did you go from a size 12 to a size 8? That's progress. Did you go from a large to a medium? Do you see what I mean? I want you to start looking at other ways, other things, other ways that you can track your progress, because the scale alone is going to make you want to give up. It is going to make you actually give up. Another thing you can do is hydration level. When was the last time you thought about this? I've worked with women before who, when they come to me, and if you definitely want us to work together, please click the link below to schedule your call. Let's get you in so we can have a consultation to see how I can help you, feel sexy, vibrant, and vivacious again, because that's how you want to feel. So just go ahead and click the link below. So hydration level. I've had women come to me that when we start working and I was doing the consultation and I asked, how much water do you drink a day? Like literally crickets. And I had to repeat the question because I'm like, ain't no way you going around dehydrated and not drinking water. And she'll be like, I've had this more than once. They'll be like, I drink coffee. That's not water. I drink wine. That's not water. I drink tea. Baby, that is not water. It's like there's so many of you who don't even get half a liter water a day. So start looking at this. When I start working with women, I make sure we are drinking water. They are drinking water. I am slowly increasing their water intake. So definitely look at that. Are you having more water than you were having before? Are you feeling more hydrated during the days? Do you no longer also, how much caffeine, how much coffee are you having? Because when you start feeling better and you start being hydrated, you have less urge for the caffeine, right? You don't necessarily need that 3 p.m. coffee or energy drink rush, because the water, you're drinking enough water, so that gives you energy. Also look at that. And this is one that I have a lot of my clients do. All my clients do, as a matter of fact, weekly when we work together. Take photos. Taking photos is so important, and you don't have to share them. You can just have your own secret folder on your phone where you just put them with date stamp. Because what happened is we think that we look the same all the time because we see our bodies every day. So we think, okay, this is how I look all the time. No, your bodies look different at some point. You do look different, right? So having photos to track your progress does help. Where you can do like side by side, it can definitely track your progress to see what's going on. Something else, you can also ask the people around you. I'm not a big advocate of other people's opinion on my body or stuff like that, but you can ask people who are close to you, your children, your partner, coworkers you may be close to, but someone who's close to you who will be honest with you, and just ask them, hey, have you noticed any changes in me, in my mood, my energy level, in how my body look? And they will tell you, right? So once again, I'm not telling you to completely get rid of the scale. But what I am telling you is to, one, stop using it as the primary way of tracking your progress, because it has so many ways for so many reasons and so many ways that it may fluctuate. Something else with the scales, also be careful with some of these scales, because if your scale can tell you how much is body fat and body mass, that's kind of better. But then if it just lumps everything together and just give you one number, once again, that's not a clear indication, because it's like, how much of it is muscles that you've put on? How much of it is fat, right? So if you have one of those scales, I usually find those are in gyms. Not many people have the ones at home. And even if you do, please don't go checking your weight every day. Now, however you decide to track your progress, what I would suggest is do it once per week. You do not want to be doing it daily. You do not want to become obsessed with it. Do it once per week. Try to choose the same day, the same time. For example, if you want to do Mondays, although I personally don't think that's a good day to do it. If you want to do it Tuesdays, at let's say 5 a.m., try to do it in the mornings as opposed to in the evenings, because in the evenings, you're probably stressed, so everything's going to be off. You've probably been eating and drinking all day. So probably try to do it in the mornings the same day. I forgot one. This one just popped up. I don't know how I didn't put it in my notes, but also measurements. Measurements is another way that you can track your progress. You can use the good old fashioned tape measure, right? You can measure your boobs, you can measure your waist. So if you're going to measure your waist, what I normally do when I'm measuring my waist is use the smallest portion, either the smallest portion of the waist or the portion that aligns right with your belly button. Of course, when you're going to do the hip, you already know the highest part of the booty. And for your legs and arms, yeah, that's it. So you can also use a measuring tape. So those are some of the ways that you can definitely track your progress. Let's meet me in my DM and let me know which way do you normally use right now, and which way are you going to try, and which other way that you may have been doing it that I didn't mention here. And hey, don't forget to hit the link below to schedule your free call to come to my program, Thrive and Glow with Trudie through Perimenopause. The next one start in a few weeks, but let's chat now. All right. Have a fabulous one.